Okay, so now we're going to start with the darts and how I do my darts. So what you're going to need is your pencil, or what you're going to mark your item with, your fabric. So these are the pieces that I don't need, and this is linen, so it's picked up dog hair, as you can probably imagine, in my house with little tiny dogs. And I'll just get a brush. Now, I hope y'all can understand me. I'm trying my best to not let my very heavy southern accent creep in, but because I know that's hard for some of y'all to listen to. But okay, so on the front of the pattern, you can see this is the dart mark here, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pins, and this is the way I do it. Now, other people do it differently. And I'm going to pin in these circles where the darts go, this way. Now, I like to pin a couple more here in the actual line itself, because I'll show you what I'm going to do. All right, so I do that way. Now, you're going to want to take all the other pins off of your pattern where you pin the paper part down, like so. I probably should have prepared this, and I might cut this part out of the video, or I might just leave it in. So you take all these out. To where you only have the pins. Now, like I said, this is the way I do it. I'm sure there are some other professional seamstresses. I'm not a professional. I'm just a very heavy hobbyist. I'm sure there are other people that do it differently. But this is the way I do it. This is the way it works for me. I've always done it this way. Well, I mean, since I started sewing, this was the way my mama taught me how to do it. Make sure you got all the pins out so you don't rip your pattern. I'm a heavy pinner. I don't like my pattern to slip on my stuff. Okay, so now you got all that, right? All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to have these in, and then you're going to flip it. It's dark, so I don't know if you can see, but the pins are sticking through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take pins and put them exactly as close to the same hole as I can here. Going the other way. I probably should have used colored pins to help out a little bit, but I'll just start doing that now. So, colored pin, these are silk pins. I think these are silk pins. I always get the two mixed up. So now you've basically got these pins in the same, as close to the same hole as you can possibly get. Then you pull your paper pattern. I know I do this backwards, so I pull my paper pattern up. All right. Take the original pins I put in, turn this down a little, out. I suppose I could have just put them in the back first, which is what I usually do, but I'm a little backwards right now. So, as you can see, you've got all these pins sticking up this way now. Can you see that? Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. I should have just done this once. I should have just come through the back, but I like to, well, no, I like to have a real good mark for the back one. So, like I said, I'm sure other people, professionals, probably do this a little differently, but this is the way I like to do it. so that I've got a lot of guidance here. Then you can pull slowly. You can pull your pieces apart like so, and you've got pin markings. You've got pins. This is the linen lining on both pieces. So now this is where your pencil comes in. You've got to make sure you've got opposing sides. When you're using solid fabrics, non-printed fabrics, or like woven, where it looks the same on both sides, you want to make sure you've got the opposite sides. So I lay it out like this, so it's the opposite sides. Because you don't want your markings that I'm about to make to show where after you've sewn. So what I do here is where these pins are, as close as possible, I kind of push the pin down like this and make a little mark where the hole is. I hear one of my little doggies coughing. It's Peanut. She's still got her cough from her heart thing. Peanut, I'm down here, sweet pea. So I mark them all like so on both pieces. And I do this on the inside because, of course, you're going to sew your dart on the inside. So, like so. Now, then I take all the pins out. Like so. And part 2, well, I'll just make this one whole video, but the next part of this, and I forgot to bring it down here from my sewing room, because I'm doing this in my living room, not my sewing room, because I have a huge living room with a lot of open floor space, and since this is a full-length, long, very voluminous gown, it's easier to cut it down here. But as you can see, I've also done that. So basically, because this is linen and it's see-through, I'll show it to you on the silk. So that's what you're going to end up with. It's a triangle. And then the next part I use is a ruler. Not everybody does this, but I'll show you how I do it just because I'm very exacting. And I'll be right back.